doing different things. We've had elections coming up. We've had events going on. We've had hurricanes. We've had a lot of diverse times that we're going through right now. And it is to the point now to where, like I said, I'm really wanting to make sure that when I'm talking that I address these types of things, and I address one of the things that is on my heart. This is one of my channel here where I want to make sure that I can address things that are on my heart, because a lot of times God puts those things on my heart, and a lot of times I am going through something or just feeling inspired to talk about something, and that's what's on my heart at that moment. And a lot of times it's something that's going on that is impacting a lot of people. So at this time, I want to talk a little bit about keeping hope alive. And it's awesome that what I'm talking about is in our lesson, in our devotion, but it's just something also that's dear to me right now in this time that we're going through. I know there's many people that always are talking about trouble. They're talking about um, things that are going on in their lives, and it is becoming a recurring theme. What I mean by that is there's more and more people that seem like they're having trials, tribulations that they're going through, and there are people that work even right now in the medical fields and the providers, and they are talking a lot about how people are in really, really dire needs right now in the fields of just being able to talk to somebody, counseling, different things like that. So we want to talk about keeping hope alive. So Psalm 133:3 is our verse we're coming from, and we're looking at David. David said, "Wait for God, wait with hope, hope now, hope always. When you decide things are hopeless, you slam the door in God's face." And here's another thing, y'all, and I hope y'all don't get tired of me saying this. I hope that it just becomes part of your life as well. But when I look at things sometimes, I feel like sometimes things are hopeless. I'm honest. Sometimes I feel like it's hopeless, but then I feel myself pushing through that feeling of hopelessness and continuing to live and operate in a state of faith. So, that hopelessness can bring about that fear, but then if you continue in your pushing through with your faith, you finally see those things that your faith is pushing through for manifesting. So I'm even today I'm sitting there like, God, all right, you can make a way. God, you can open the door. God, you can make this thing work out. And I'm sitting there like, all right, here we go, Lord, me and you, and I know I'm on your side, and I know you got my best wishes, the best things in store for me. So I'm sitting there just believing God, and then bam, one thing happens, bam, another thing happens, and God just keeps showing up, and I just know it's Him. I know that I owe all these things, all these blessings to Him, because one thing is we have to have that faith, y'all. We have to trust that God's gonna come through. We have to trust that God's gonna make a way, even when we can't see that way. So we don't want to slam a door in God's face and just say, okay, it's hopeless, and you give up. So for most of us, as long as we're in reasonably good health and know the rent is coming in, excuse me, where the rent, I don't believe I yawned all night. I mean, the devil was just, no, devil, you ain't getting no glory. So we're in reasonably good health, and we know the rent's coming in. We know where the rent's coming from. Hope doesn't work like when you're in those situations, like you're not even like you only have to worry about hope because like you know what's going on. So first, ask yourself, what's your strongest desire? Imagine you're 80 and looking back. Are you satisfied? If not, challenge yourself to come up with an answer. Hope must be personal, not the kind you think you should have. It must be fervent enough to govern everything you do. Second, give it a symbol, something you can center your thoughts around. So Jeremiah taught God's people a lesson in hope by giving land at Anathoth. He knew that they would be taken into captivity, and during those long years, the memory of that faraway field in Judah would act as a symbol of future restoration. So during World War II, when Leo Alchemist and his family were herded into concentration camps, they maintained a symbol of hope, a tiny piece of paper from a box of chocolates with an American flag on the bottom. They passed it from hand to hand, looked at it, held it, and whispered about the liberation army that was coming. Symbols help us fix our minds on what's possible. So, in fact, the greatest symbol the world has ever known was the hardest to believe. A baby in a manger signaled God's kingdom on earth and changed mankind's destiny. And he can change your destiny. Define what you hope for, ask in his name, and no matter how impossible it looks, expect it to come true. Have you guys ever realized that the things that we expect to come true in our lives, the things that we look for, the things that we plan for happen? So think about that. If we are expecting good things, if we plan for good things, if we're doing things to make those dreams come true, guess what? The outcome, the possibility of those coming true is far greater than if we're not expecting anything, if we're not planning for anything. Even if we plan for a bad situation, even if we expect a bad situation, we can expect it, we can plan for it to come true. But if we expect good things, if we plan for good things, we can expect and plan, it goes for it to come true. So guys, look, I want to leave y'all with that, and then leave y'all with, look, keep that hope alive for those good things, for those great expectations. Keep it alive, because when you hope, when you push past fear and push into faith, guess what? God will show up. He does it. When we expect God to show up, when we plan for God to show up, when we believe in God to show up, guess what he'll do? He'll show up, and he always does, and he shows off. Expect for him to show up. He's real. He's real, and he can be so real in your life that you can call upon his name and you can feel his spirit, and you can know he's there. He can talk to you, and he can drop things into your spirit. He can speak to your spirit. And I know that he wants to be close to each and every one of us. That was his vision. That was his plan. That was his goal the whole time, is to be so close to each and every one of us. Guys, look, I love y'all. Have a good evening, and we'll see you again later.